We're back for our daily NBA best bets here on Tuesday, November 4th. We've got 6 games of NBA basketball today, and of course, we're going to be covering 5 of them. The one game, I'll say it now, is the Milwaukee Bucks and the Toronto Raptors, because you know what? I'm fed up with the Milwaukee Bucks. Now, shout out to the Pacers yesterday for covering, but couldn't beat Miles Turner and the Milwaukee Bucks. So you know what, Miles? You deserved all of those boos last night in the Fieldhouse and more, okay? Pacers cover. Miles Turner, he's still playing the victim. They win, and he goes back in the locker room post-game press conference. Oh, these fans didn't treat me right. I was on the discussion of I was in trade deadline talks. Buddy let NBA Twitter get to his head, and now he's still playing the victim. You won. Be happy, pal. Just wait and see what happens next year when Tyrese comes back. It'll be different. But anyways, we go 4-1 yesterday as a whole, 3-0 at the money lines and spreads. Shout out to the Lakers. Didn't really think that they were going to win like that. I was expecting, Luka. But hey, dominating DeAndre Ayton. How about the game played by Bronny James and Nick Smith? Lakers go out there and pick up a huge win. Hachimura was great in the first half, too. And then how about the Miami Heat cover and win outright, too? I didn't love the last shot of the game, by the way, by Kawhi Leonard, but it is what it is. Shout out to John Morant. Told you he was going to be a team player yesterday. And then, of course, the one player that doesn't win, the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks, of course. Thanks, Jalen Brunson. Never betting on anything New York Knicks ever again. Also on the channel, folks, college basketball best bets were posted earlier today. College football predictions were posted yesterday. That's over 4 hours of Week 11 college football predictions, so you're not going to want to miss that. NFL predictions will be out later today. UFC Fight Night, Bonfim versus Brown. Full card predictions are linked in the description down below as well. Okay, on to the first now of our 5 best bets for November 4th, kicking things off with the NBC Peacock game. Off-season winners collide. Orlando Magic versus Atlanta Hawks from Atlanta, Georgia. Obviously, no Trae Young. That's obviously still the main talking point for the Hawks. Young will be out for at least a month, probably 2. Atlanta's a 3-4 team. Last game, we took the Cleveland Cavaliers spread against the Hawks in Cleveland, and the Cavs ended up covering. It's been a lot of Jalen Johnson for the Hawks, right? Back-to-back games for Atlanta. Johnson 22-13-8 and 23-13-5 for the Hawks. But we're not going Jalen Johnson tonight. No, I'm going in the direction of the Great Barrier Thief. That would be Dyson Daniels. Give me the Aussie tonight. Dyson Daniels has been averaging 9, 6, and 3 so far this season, but obviously with the loss of Trae Young, there has been a need for more scoring throughout the entirety of the lineup, and some of that gets put on Dyson Daniels, a guy who's not going to shoot the 3 ball, not going to provide you the same style of getting points, obviously, as Trae, but a guy who can get to the basket and can score. Last couple of games for Dyson Daniels, back-to-back 18-point nights and 38 and 36-minute nights for him against both the Indiana Pacers and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And on top of that, again, we're going with the PRA tonight for Dyson Daniels. That's over 24.5. For a guy that plays 35 minutes, and he's playing even more minutes, obviously, with the Young injury. When Trae was still in the court, we were seeing anywhere from the mid-20s to low 30s in terms of minutes for Dyson Daniels. We're now getting into the upper 30s with the Young injury, and obviously the need for more guys in the rotation. So Dyson Daniels in these last 3 games played 35, 38, and 36 minutes, but where we really want to look into is his last 2 games. I know the season-long average for Dyson Daniels is 9 points a game, but last 2, we've seen Daniels be way more aggressive attacking the paint. 13 shots in the Pacers game, 12 shots in the Cavaliers game. Daniels sinking 8 in both of those 2. Again, you're not really going to see Daniels shoot the 3-ball like a lot of guys in this Atlanta lineup can do, and I get it. Daniels isn't really out there for his scoring. He's out there for his defense. He was a contender to win the Defensive Player of the Year last year. Again, he's one of the best perimeter defenders and best, steal guys in all of basketball as well. Again, he doesn't just get the nickname Great Barrier Thief because he's from Australia. He is a very good defensive guy. But Daniels has shown a lot of strides of improvement in his last 2 games scoring wise. Again, scoring 18 and 18 in those Cavs and Indiana games. And we have the PRA tonight for Dyson Daniels, and that line set at 24.5. This is a line Daniels has gone over in his last 2 games, hit exactly 25 PRA in that Cavaliers game, 18, 4, and 3. But we're looking for more of a night like he had against Indiana. 18 points, 9 rebounds, and 6 assists. Obviously, that easily clears the PRA line, as that is 33. I just think it was a very low rebound or RA night, rebounds and assists night for Dyson Daniels against the Cavs. And can we expect Daniels to continue to put up 18 points a night? Honestly, yeah. I mean, I'm looking at what Atlanta brings, obviously. I mean, you're starting a lineup, right? You're starting a team, you're starting a starting five. One hell of a way to put that. It's Nikhil Alexander-Walker, Dyson Daniels, Zachary Rissichet, Jalen Johnson, Kristaps Porzingis. Okay. Jalen Johnson is your number one option, obviously. Arguably, two, it's Dyson Daniels. And it's not like, oh, okay, well, Dyson Daniels, and this is not Daniels at all, but I'm explaining a different type of player, like a Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. Strictly 3-and-D guy. So, oh, okay, well, Daniels just a Royce O'Neal. Oh, well, his points are just 3-pointers, and that you can't expect that every single night. No. Dyson Daniels' points are attacking the rim, finishing, obviously, and scoring 18 on 12 shots. I'd much rather rely on that than a guy who's just going to shoot 3-pointers. Like, for example, a Luke Kennard, who I know, again, scored 15 points in the last game against Cleveland, but the thing with a guy like that in Kennard, and again, I'm not going at Luke Kennard at all, but a player like him, you need those 3-pointers to fall, and you are going to need volume out those 3-point shots. A guy like Dyson Daniels, who plays 35 minutes plus per night, is going to get his fair share of chances attacking the rim, and at the same time, he's going to get his assist opportunities, but really, the rebound opportunities are going to be there as well. Again, Porzingis will get rebounds, Jalen Johnson will get boards as well, but Dyson Daniels, we've seen in multiple games this season, 9+ boards, assist numbers ranging anywhere from 2 to 6. This is a very high upside pick here with Dyson Daniels, and I think he will be able to reach this one against an Orlando team where, last year I'd say, oh, well, I don't know about picking against the Magic. They're so great defensively. Has not been the case this season. We've seen so many teams, and it's been a theme so far for the Magic. So many teams score on them. This is, by the way, a rematch of the play-in round last year in the Eastern Conference where Orlando did win. Different lineups, different styles now. I'm going Atlanta Hawks to probably win the basketball game. I think they're 4.5-point dogs. I think they can get it done, but that doesn't matter here. We're just going with the Great Barrier Thief to actually give us some offensive upside tonight. Dyson Daniels over 24.5 PRA at home against the Orlando Magic. On to our second best bet of the video. Let's go to the United Center. The two best teams in the Eastern Conference. You saw it in the thumbnail. Tyrese Maxey, Josh Giddey go at it tonight. Two young rising stars. We have the Chicago Bulls and we have the Philadelphia 76ers. This is a fun game. Chicago is coming off of their first loss a couple nights ago to, of course, the New York Knicks. They won the first game against New York. They dropped the second. It's okay. Both teams are 5-1. Philly's coming off of their first loss of the season as well. Actually, they beat Brooklyn on Sunday, but they lost to Boston by 1 point on Friday night, then proceeded to beat up on the Brooklyn Nets. I feel like that's going to be a common theme this season. Everyone will beat the Brooklyn Nets, but it's okay. Philly now going on the road to Chicago, and the Bulls are favored for a good reason. Chicago is the better team, in my opinion. Philadelphia is very dependent on what Tyrese Maxey can do, and that's great. Again, Maxey's a very good scorer. If you don't get the greatest production out of Maxey, or if you don't really get production other than Maxey, you're in trouble. Kelly Oubre scored 29 points for the Sixers in their game against the Brooklyn Nets, but truth be told, guys, I'm going to throw out everything possible when we talk about a Brooklyn Nets basketball game. They're 0-6, and I feel like they are by far the worst team in basketball. We are going to talk about in a second another team that hasn't won a game yet this year, but I think I'll say it. The Pelicans and the Nets are on way different wavelengths, in my opinion, in terms of, closeness to winning games and kind of being a little bit competitive. Again, more on New Orleans in a second. But you get a Philadelphia team that is 5-1, but look at their victories. Boston, Charlotte, Orlando, Washington, Brooklyn. They have not played good teams yet, and now they have to go on a back-to-back Chicago, Cleveland back-to-back nights. Then they get the Raptors and Pistons multiple times, and the Clippers, and then the Bucks aren't very good. Kind of, I don't know. This is going to be a real tough stretch for the Sixers. Yeah, you're 5-1. Guys, Chicago's beaten legitimate good teams so far. They've beaten the Knicks. They've beaten Detroit. They go to Orlando and win. They beat Atlanta. They beat Sacramento. They're beating good squads. And I will say this right now before I forget, the Sixers are getting back a huge rotational piece, and that, of course, is Jared McCain. McCain suffered an injury towards the end of the offseason or into the preseason. McCain is back, and he will be coming off the bench, and I think he will have to continue to come off the bench, which is going to be a little odd because I feel like he should be a starting player for this team. Actually, maybe he starts. Are they going to start McCain? I feel like they should. Will they, though, is a whole other thing. This is actually, yeah, they probably will. They're starting Jabari Walker right now. Maybe not in his first game, but I mean, Jared McCain last season, when he played, he was excellent. He was a 15 points per game scorer, and he started the year off the bench, too, so that really affected his total averages as well. Trust me, again, you want Jared McCain on the court. He's only 21 years old. He's more than just that TikTok persona and personality. McCain's going to be a very good player in this league for a very long time. The shot making and their shot creating and the shot making from the mid-range is just absolutely nasty, and McCain's a really good player. Anyways, though, Sixers are without Paul George. Okay. Like, I don't know. I don't care. Again, McCain is back. He's probable. So, again, every sign points to Jared McCain's return. That's great, guys. The Chicago Bulls, though, are beating really good teams, and they're consistently beating really good teams. Their only loss is a game against New York where I expressed my frustrations yesterday with the New York Knicks. Like, all right, I watched them play the Bulls, and I watched the Knicks not miss a shot from beyond the arc. Legitimately. Like, they were shooting 60% going into the fourth quarter, or in the fourth quarter from beyond the three-point line. I mean, what do you want me to say with that? Great. They're hitting shots, right? And Chicago was doing a pretty fair job again shooting-wise as well, but unfortunately, right, they could not outmatch the damage that the Knicks were doing. I mean, I'm watching every single shot taken from beyond the arc fall. I'm watching, OG Anunoby not miss, Jordan Clarkson not miss, Shamet, Miles McBride, Brunson, everybody's hitting shots. I don't know what you wanted the Bulls to do in that spot. Chicago still had a very good offensive night. Again, they just fell short. The biggest reason to their success, undoubtedly, is Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey is going to be a perennial all-star. People forget he's 23 years old. And Josh Giddey this season is averaging a near triple-double, 22, 9, and 9. Oh my goodness. It's ridiculous stuff. I mean, guys, the Thunder traded the Bulls the next Steve Nash. But, a guy who obviously not going to play entirely like Steve Nash, but kind of like you watch Josh Giddey, you kind of, again, with the exceptions of the boards, watching Josh Giddey's like, yeah, I see the Steve Nash, like, in him. Like, I actually do. I don't know if Giddey's ever going to reach those heights. Steve Nash is a multi-time MVP. Kind of undeserved multi-time MVP, but it's okay. Josh Giddey's a really good basketball player, though. And he, I believe, is the biggest reason towards the success. And don't forget, right, Bulls are 5-1. They're beating good teams. They haven't even gotten Kobe White back yet. And when White and Giddey were on the court at the same time, they were great. Guys, White's getting closer to returning. I don't know if it's going to be this game. I don't know if it's going to be the Bucks or the Cavs and they're back-to-back. Maybe I think probably a better guess will be Monday against the San Antonio Spurs at home. It'd be a big game for the Bucks. Sorry, not the Bucks. The Bulls against Victor Wembanyama. That's when I expect Kobe White to probably be back in the lineup. Right now, it's fine, though. Giddey's playing his ass off. Vooch is playing pretty well. Buzelis is hitting some big-time shots for them as well right now. I love what the Chicago Bulls have got going on. And again, I've been on this for quite a bit. I was on it last season. I've always seen it with the Bulls. This team is very fun to watch, and Josh Giddey legitimately is one of the most fun players to watch in all of basketball. This guy might average a triple-double this season. And we're going to have some very uncomfortable situations about this guy being an MVP candidate this year. It's not even an uncomfortable situation because it's a situation I've been ready to have for quite a bit. But it's the damn truth. Josh Giddey will get looks, I believe, in the most valuable player race this year. I think the Bulls are going to be a top 4 seed in the East. That's how well they're playing right now. If they can add a veteran scorer alongside these guys, oh my goodness. Like, I like Okoro, but if they can get a better 3, man, like, this team's going to be good. I'm taking the Bulls to beat the 76ers. I think Chicago's just, again, played tougher teams. I think they got the better lineup, and they're at home. Give me the Bulls to beat the 76ers with Josh Giddey at the helm. Next up, we go on to our third best bet of the video. Same odds, same everything, minus 130. Give me the New Orleans Pelicans. Am I picking with the same confidence in this game than I am with the Bulls? The answer to that is no. I think the Pelicans still win. Again, I'd much rather, if you were thinking, oh, do I take Chicago? Do I take New Orleans? Definitely, in my opinion, go with the Bulls. There's a play later in the day that I like quite a bit as well. We'll get to that. That's the late night spot at 8 o'clock, the Peacock NBC game. They just love giving us the 8 o'clock games, which actually I have no problem with. And I mean, I'm up late anyway. I don't really care. They can start games at 10 o'clock for all I care. I'd still watch, right? Actually, I like them quite a bit, okay? Between what NBC's doing and ESPN's doing, with ESPN's putting hockey at 8 o'clock, NBC's putting basketball at 8 o'clock, I really have no complaints about that. Anyways, though, it's like watching Hawaii games. I'm up anyways. Anyways, first, though, Pels Hornets, right? We've got the two the two Hornets. Charlotte obviously originated as the Hornets. They became the Bobcats. Became the Hornets yet again. Obviously, the New Orleans Pelicans were the New Orleans Hornets, and now they're the Pelicans. Not going to lie, the New Orleans Hornets logo had aura. And I don't like the Pels logo. I just don't. The Charlotte Hornets have aura too, but if I could have it my way, I know this doesn't matter for the prediction at all, the best bet at all, but if I could have it my way, I'd go Charlotte Bobcats and New Orleans Pelicans. Yeah, it's kind of what I grew up with, but I don't know. Like I like the Bobcats, man. I loved the again this I promise I'll get back to the Hornets in a second. I loved the Charlotte Bobcats. God. That one year where they played, I know a lot of people didn't like these uniforms. I love the uniforms the Bobcats had that one year where they were a 7th seed and they went to Miami, or they had a series against the Heat with LeBron and company, and they got swept. The Michael Kidd-Gilchrist years. I don't know. I think I'm like the only Bobcats like fan out there. I want the Bobcats back. But Charlotte Hornets, their jerseys are really nice too, though. And the Hornets kind of have aura. But anyways, the Hornets go to New Orleans here, take on the Pelicans. I'm taking the Pels. The Pels have kind of been just right there. Not really. They've had 3 games where they've been right there. The reason why I'm taking the Pelicans is, well, okay, eventually they have to win a game. The Brooklyn Nets, like, okay, maybe they won't win, okay? The Nets are the one team where, like, maybe they don't win a game all year long. Obviously, no, they're going to win a game. There's 82 games in a season. But the Pels are too good to be 0-6. Yeah, again, is their lineup the best, and are they dealing with some injuries right now? Sure. Again, this bet is assuming both Zion Williams and Yves Missy play. DeJounte Murray apparently is ahead on his return date. I think he's going to be back around January, so that's going to be good for New Orleans getting him back. But as long as Williamson and Missy play, I think we're going to be fine here. This is a Pelicans team that I like what they've done, honestly, with Jordan Poole coming off the bench. He's a guy who's still going to play clutch time minutes for them. He's still going to, be a big rotational piece, but you're just not starting him, and you're going with the rookie instead. Out of Oklahoma, you're going Jeremiah Fears. I like that quite a bit. Fears has played great basketball so far this season. He's averaging 14, 3-4 in his rookie campaign. That's big time for the 7th overall pick in the draft this season. And, the Pels, they played a real inspiring game in their first NBA Cup game against the Los Angeles Clippers. It was a game that was ultimately gamed by Kawhi Leonard. Again, something that he tried to attempt last night against the Miami Heat. Obviously, he was unsuccessful, but there was a game-winning shot and win for Los Angeles for Kawhi Leonard on Friday night. Pels came up close, though, but, man, that second half effort of the Pelicans is absolutely big time. The shots that Jordan Poole's hitting off the bench, again, he's going to play 30-plus minutes. He just comes off the bench and doesn't play the first 4 minutes of a game. For damn sure, though, in a clutch game and in a close game, Jordan Poole is going to play those final 4 minutes. Now, the Pels, they have a depth problem, and they're still trying to figure out what they're doing, at least bigs-wise. Saddiq Bey plays a pretty big role, but, he's not he can guard bigger guys like the 4s, and he kind of can guard 5s. They don't really have another big that they like other than Yves Missy. And obviously they love Zion, but their backup bigs are Kevon Looney, who's going to play in his first or second game as a Pelican tonight. He returned to the team, or he was injured to start the season. He did play in the Thunder game that the Pels lost, so there will be some Kevon Looney tonight. Derek Queen, the rookie out of Maryland, was very good last season for the Terrapins. He was the 13th overall pick. We can assume Derek Queen to have a bigger role for this team. My problem with Queen is, in the NBA, plays really a 5, but he's 6'9". He's just going to have to play the 4, but he's just not used to playing the 4 yet. So there's going to be an adjustment period for him. Obviously, DeAndre Jordan's around. Yep, DeAndre Jordan's still in the NBA. I think the Pels beat the Hornets, though. I look at the Charlotte Hornets. Yeah, you've won 3 games this season. They beat Brooklyn, Washington, and Utah. Now, they did beat the Jazz, the team that I'm actually fairly high on this year, but I have come to the realization as well, if it's Lauri Markkanen, and if Walker Kessler's not there, they will struggle sometimes. But you know what? Utah yesterday went to the Boston Garden and beat the Celtics. Yusef Nurkic game winner in relief for Walker Kessler. So maybe the Jazz are back. Maybe they are. Maybe Utah basketball is right where it needs to be with Keontae George and Yusef Nurkic. I don't know. K-Love played minutes yesterday. I don't know, man. Look at the Utah Jazz. Anyways, I think the Pels beat the Hornets. Charlotte may be without LaMelo Ball tonight. He's questionable with an ankle injury. So obviously, again, there's some big factors on both sides of the equation. Ball potentially not playing. Zion potentially not playing. I think the Hornets, though, I think the Pelicans are very due for a victory. They're playing good enough basketball to get one done. If they just have a really good night shooting, which I expect them to do, I think they're going to be fine here. I'm going to go New Orleans at home to finally get that first victory here of 2025. Give me Pels money line at home, -130 against the Charlotte Hornets. On to now our 4th best bet of the video. Let's go to our second player prop today. Yes, we're going to the Golden State Warriors and Phoenix Suns from San Francisco, California. And I'm going with, you may not know who this is, which is fair, I guess, Colin Gillespie. Yes, the second-year man out of Villanova, Colin Gillespie, who's found himself as a big rotational piece for the Phoenix Suns. I am taking Gillespie tonight over 16.5 points and assists. This is a guy who averages 12 points and 6 assists a night, so he's been averaging over this line. The Phoenix Suns don't look now have won back-to-back games. It's a team that's actually playing with confidence now, which is interesting. A team that has been winning without some major pieces actually playing. Back-to-back wins against the Utah Jazz on Halloween and then against the San Antonio Spurs on Sunday night. Devin Booker doing his thing. He's trying his hardest to will his team to victory because his starting lineup is D-Book, Grayson Allen, Ryan Dunn, Royce O'Neal, Mark Williams. Now, you know who plays that biggest factor, though, off the bench and is the sixth man as of now? It is Colin Gillespie. Now, I think they need to play Kaman Malawach a lot more. I know, he's still very young and he's a rookie, obviously from Duke last year with that loaded Blue Devil squad. I'd like to see Malawach play a lot more, in my opinion. Again, he was great last year at Duke with Knuppel, with Cooper Flagg. I'd like to see Malawach play a lot more. But anyways, Colin Gillespie has been a major part of this rotation, and especially again with the injuries that they have. So Jalen Green and Dillon Brooks have been out for quite a bit, or obviously Green's been out the entire season. Brooks has been out since the first 2 games. Brooks is still out with the groin injury, and for Jalen Green, he is still out with that hamstring injury, neither of which will be playing against the Warriors tonight. Starter Ryan Dunn has an injury right now. He's got a left knee contusion, but he is likely going to play. They have Dunn listed currently as probable. But anyways, with Green and Brooks out, you're going to see the same amount of minutes for Colin Gillespie, which has been anywhere from 22 to 32. Gillespie's going to get a lot of run, and you see his last 4 games in which he's been getting those 30-plus minutes with no Dillon Brooks and obviously still no Jalen Green. 15 points against Utah, 14 points against Memphis, 12 against Utah, and 15 against San Antonio. And then let's talk about the assist numbers in these games. Again, against the Jazz, that overtime loss, Gillespie at 15 and 13. Against the Grizz, 14 and 5. Utah, second time around, at 12 and 6. And against the Spurs, 15 and 4. It's a line that Gillespie has easily gone over in each of his last 4 games. Why wouldn't we see this again tonight? Guys, Gillespie is about a 15 points per game scorer. I think that's what we can expect for Gillespie with this current rotation and the opportunities that he's being given. Again, Gillespie, every single shot he takes is from beyond the arc. And I know, again, earlier I said, I don't love taking players like this. That's fair. Gillespie, though, is a big assist guy who obviously has capability of getting 10-plus assists in a game, and he's going to get a bunch of run. We should be fine. Again, Gillespie's a very good chance he straight up gets 10 assists. Again, I would say the floor for Gillespie assists this game, though, legitimately is 6? 5, maybe? He's been going over this points total quite easily on any given night, and the amount of shots Gillespie takes. 12 against the Jazz, he goes 4 for 12. Against Memphis, he takes 7, hits 3. The second time against Utah, this time in Phoenix, he goes 4 for 7. And on Sunday against the San Antonio Spurs, he goes 3 for 7. This guy's playing with a lot of confidence. He's getting the most minutes than more minutes than he ever has in his NBA career. Sorry, 30-year man out of Villanova. I forgot he played for the Nuggets 1 year too. But he's getting way more run right now than he ever did in Denver and Phoenix last season. Averaged 9 minutes a game in his rookie year with Denver. Averaged 14 minutes last season with Phoenix. And so far, so good this year with 25 minutes a night. And we're seeing even higher uptick in minutes, obviously, now with the injuries to Brooks and Green. And will this remain as the season goes on with those guys re-entering the rotation? I don't know. Again, Gillespie has really established himself as a straight-up rotational guy. How many minutes he'll get, I don't know. I think, obviously if there's ever a debate of if it's going to be him or Jordan Goodwin who gets minutes towards the tail end of the year, or obviously when they're healthy, I assume that's going to continue to go to Gillespie, but I like him in the spot here. I think he's going to be able to knock down some 3-pointers. I like what he does assist-wise. Again, he's the primary ball handler when he comes on the court because obviously in the starting lineup right now, Devin Booker's their one. And when D-Book comes off the court or Gillespie comes in, Gillespie's obviously the really only true point guard on this team. Is D-Book, again, kind of a 2-guard, but has shifted into a 1 now, obviously with the Green addition as well. But I like Connor Gillespie here over 16.5 PA. Should be a fairly easy line for the third-year man out of Nova. On to our final best bet of the video as we go to the Intuit Dome in Los Angeles or Inglewood, California. We've got the Los Angeles Clippers taking on the reigning defending undefeated champions right now, the Oklahoma City Thunder. 7-0, the final and the last remaining undefeated team, OKC, is on the road in LA. They are just the perfect team. It's not glaze, it's the truth. I mean, I don't know, and again, I keep saying this. I keep getting excited for the Lakers, and I am. I'm really, intrigued to see where that team's going to go and how far that team's going to go this year. But in the back of my mind always is, well, how are you going to get by the Thunder? And it's a very fair thing to always think about, because this team is untouchable, it feels like. And I know they've played some closer games this season, but in the clutch, what happens? Shai Gilgeous-Alexander happens. I mean, he looks like he's en route to win that back-to-back MVP. I know we're 7 games into the year, but SGA is averaging 34 points. Like, I just, and he consistently does this every night. SGA doesn't really take games off. He's very good, and he's one of the best defenders in basketball too, right? So Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and the Thunder are 7-0. SGA is putting up 30-plus point nights every single night, and now they go to Los Angeles to take on the Clippers. Pels last played on Sunday against the New Orleans Pelicans in a matinee game in the afternoon. Los Angeles played just last night. Again, we had Miami spread. They were plus 7.5, plus 8.5 yesterday against the Clippers. Well, we don't need the points. They win outright. Los Angeles makes a big push in the fourth quarter early after Miami had a huge third quarter. By the way, this game was just a game of runs. I mean, that's basketball, but right. Miami starts the game off 12-2. LA makes a big run to take the lead in the second quarter. Third quarter happens. Miami gets off right away, outscores the Clippers 37-24 in the third. Fourth quarter happens. Immediately, the Clippers go on a 12-0 run to take the lead. Miami not really, doesn't really regain that lead until like 4 minutes to go. They get it back and they don't give it up. By the way, Norman Powell got fouled on a big spot late in the game where Zubac ties him up for a jump ball. They don't call the foul. Kawhi Leonard gets a shot to win the game. He misses. Miami wins. I hated the shot for Kawhi too. Took one in triple coverage really. Really didn't get a chance to pass out, but I didn't love the shot attempt by Kawhi Leonard. Anyways, this old-ass unction in Los Angeles is going to try to play the second night of a back-to-back against this team. Oh, yikes. I mean, these guys aren't built to play back-to-backs. There is not a single rotational member on this team or player on this team that's under the age of 28 years old. That's a problem. You have no young guys here. And you're taking on the deepest team in basketball with the best player in basketball on fresh legs. That's going to go so great for you, isn't it? I watched the Clippers play. I'm just like, okay, yeah, Harden's still very good. I don't know how James Harden's done it, but the longevity is insane. He is still, yes, I mean, he was an all-star last season, but he is well deserving of that all-star role. I mean, he is very elite still. I completely understand that. Other than that, though, on this team, legitimately, it is James Harden and then everybody else. Kawhi still, yes. Kawhi, sure. Other than that, though, oh, man. And then Ty Lue says yesterday, after the game, they don't know if Kawhi and Beal are playing tonight. Oh, okay, well, again, that's the exact opposite of what the NBA wants. The NBA much rather them not play the Heat game, and then they just signed that big deal with NBC. Michael Jordan last week on NBC says he hates load management, and, well, obviously the Lakers did that last night. It looks like the Clippers are going to do it tonight on NBC unless they get a call from Silver and MJ. They might. Silver's going to go, hey, we just had Michael Jordan complain about this on this very network. You got to play this week. You got to play tonight. Maybe, again, they make the Clippers do that. I don't know. But Ty Lue is very non-committal to Kawhi Leonard and Bradley Beal playing after the Miami game. I don't think they're going to go. And I think they know, again, well, we're playing a 7-0 team. We are old-ass Los Angeles Clippers. And the Thunder should run right over them. Obviously, the Thunder still have their injuries too, right? Jalen Williams still out. I still don't know what's going on with that wrist surgery, and there has been nothing about when he's going to come back. Nikola Topic wasn't really a rotational guy right now. Unfortunately, again, he has been diagnosed with testicular cancer, which is absolutely brutal. It sucks. From what I've read, though, about this, thankfully, I believe that is non-fatal. Usually not fatal, but just sucks. Really bad. But Topic, I assume, will be back probably next year, maybe late this season. We'll see. The Thunder are also dealing again with the Lou Dort illness right now. You got AJ Mitchell potentially not playing, Jay Will not playing, and they're going to be fine. Again, as long as SGA is playing, as long as Chet and Hartenstein are going as well, they'll be perfectly fine. The bench is still deep as well. Again, Kaysen Wallace, Alex Caruso, Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe. It's the deepest team in basketball for a reason, and OKC quite easily, in my opinion, are going to go into LA and dominate the unction. -7.5 for the Thunder. What do the Clippers offer them? Absolutely nothing. It is Harden, and that's about it. This Clippers team will be in hell trying to score against OKC. Don't forget the last time they were playing on NBC too. That was the night of the Jordan load management interview. They were playing Golden State on NBC, and they scored 79 points on that late night 8 o'clock start. Let's do it again. I wonder how it's going to go for the Clippers. I don't think it's going to go very well. So I'm going to be taking the OKC Thunder here on the road in Inglewood at -7.5. This should be an extreme blowout. I think this game is going to be over quite early. LA they're just not on the level of the Thunder, and this team's just too old. So I'm going to go OKC -7.5. I think they legitimately win by 20. Give me SGA and the Thunder to take this one home in the nightcap. Folks, thank y'all for watching our NBA Best Bets here on November 4th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. Make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. We'll be back tomorrow for more daily NBA Best Bets. Folks, thank y'all for watching, and Mamba forever.